Hello there, to anyone coming to hang out. Um, yeah, today I'm just gonna work on the level a bit, and I'm kind of just streaming, open to questions, and um, yeah, get some work done and kind of just hang out. Usually I don't stream, at least as much as I used to. Back in the day, I did do quite a bit of streaming, um, playing games and stuff on Twitch. That was like 2020, like 6 years ago now. But yeah, I'd like to do some more streams in the future and share a little bit more with you guys about what I'm working on and whatnot. Do let me know if the audio is too quiet or anything like that. I won't really have any game audio, but if my mic is too low or anything, just let me know in the chat. Hopefully this OBS says it's pretty high, so should be okay. Um, if you guys haven't visited the Steam page, or if you were there, or haven't been there in a while, I did make some updates. There's quite a bit of more info, and some new graphics on the page. Did some gifs and stuff to kind of showcase some of the mechanics, which are still a little bit of a work in progress too. And you'll get to see kind of a bit of what the level, what's happening with the level right now. Because a lot of these videos, like I did take them quite a few weeks ago, so um, they're a little bit outdated with things that are in the level. The world's kind of empty, and that's something that's been slowly getting improved. So yeah, actually, this is part of the level that I've been working on, which is part of the power system. So right now, I just have this generator that I'm interacting with to test the power, but it is eventually going to be all hooked up with this big power generator, um, power plant thing. Um, so yeah, you can kind of see some more stuff's getting filled out on the streets and stuff like that, which I'm slowly but surely working on. The one thing I was doing right now was placing cables and stuff. So I have these pretty cool cable systems that I've built. Wherever I put this, here it is. Actually, this one I think I did. Yes, I have for this. So, I mean, this isn't going to be perfect by any means, but no one's ever going to see that anyways, so it's fine. Um, Trying to make sure here I have like some materials on the wires, and I'm just trying to make sure they're. I guess I can change the direction that the. I don't know which way it's traveling. Okay, it is traveling the right way. That's good. um, let's see here. How can we attach this? Want it at the top or at the bottom? I love splines. They're so handy. This is probably the most satisfying part of making games. Level design. So time consuming, but so enjoyable. Probably have this like go around. Yes, because I was gonna have it. I should probably build something here. Yeah, this is always the point I reach. Like, I'm making good progress with like all these wires and stuff like that. And then I get to an area and I'm like, oh, well, I kind of want this to look like something else. So then I end up spending a bunch of time making something in this area, which is fine. I think I'm happy doing that because the quality will definitely show later. I'm like being blinded by the sun right now. I don't have my camera on, but yeah, the sun is right in my fucking eyes, which is great. I love it. Absolutely fantastic while you're trying to look at a computer screen. I think maybe this would kind of hang down. Oh, it doesn't stretch that. Cool. Yes, cool. Yeah, now these will kind of light up. I might have to rotate it so they point the other direction. There should be lights on the other side too. If you are curious what these wires are for, they don't really have a well, I guess they do have a functional use per se. Um, they do light up, um, and they kind of are going to be the location of power sources. So, for example, this I kind of started this wire at the power plant. And I'm gonna kind of have it branch off to a bunch of different machines that you can like interact with, and those ones that you can interact with, a lot of them will require power, um, which is something that was kind of a part of many zombie games, not just Call of Duty, I suppose. And it's definitely a big part of Code Black as well, and how interactable devices work, and how a lot of different devices work. So, yeah, it'll be a pretty cool little feature. I kind of think of it as a breadcrumb in a way, like Uncharted style, where, the ledges are painted white. It's just a signifier that, hey, there's something that you can do with this. Let's see, how is that? Have it. Yeah. Do another little one like this. What do you think? It has to sit a little straight, right? Okay, that works for me. I am happy enough with that. Really happy with how the lightning effects and stuff turned out here for the. I'll probably use these a lot in the level just to show and signify power in a way. Um, these things are very electric in the world, I guess you could say. A lot of the devices and stuff are um, because the power is a big part of the game. They are somewhat just to signify that it's powered by something. I guess better than kind of just leaving it empty. I suppose nothing. Don't really want that. Oh, this looks really fucking ugly. How can I fix this? Move it like that. Maybe this needs to be like that. Ah, that is better. I am somewhat happier with that. I don't really like that. Oh, by the way, I'm watching OBS. I don't know if anyone's here hanging out, so feel free to say something in the chat. I should check the actual, like a warning on my. There is no one in the chat. Okay, I'm just all alone here. That's fine. I'm cool with that. How I work, anyways. Mm, that's fine. By the way, if there is anyone watching that doesn't come from a game development background, you know, I do. One of the things that I really want to do in the industry is, educate um, anything game development really, and uh, along with that, I am going to be creating a new YouTube channel after this game is released, which is kind of going to focus more on beginner stuff, I guess, and trying to get more people just that are starting out in Unreal or might want to get started, um, just to give them an easier resource to come and learn. I know there's, tons of different resources out there, but I I I learned how to make games a little bit differently than some would say or think, um, because I don't really come from a computer background of any kind, nor does my family, which was a little bit different than some of the people I might have went to school with or have collaborated with in the industry, and I kind of take a different I have a different take on things, I guess you could say. Um, I I try to look at things in many different ways. I come from a construction and trades background, and also cars. I did before games. I worked in construction and stuff, and then I also sold cars. And I've always been a car geek. I built cars, raced them, you name it. I love cars. I'm also heavily excited for Forza 6 if anyone out there likes Forza. I'm super excited for that game. I've actually been playing Forza 4 recently. That's been like my go-to pastime game, and I've been crushing a bunch of leaderboards recently. Does that look all right? I need another. But yeah, Code Black Discord, if any of you guys are part of that, I might do some, other game stuff later on. Or I might just keep it as part of my other Discord, which is I have a Plague Doctor Studios Discord. It's not really um wasn't really set up in the way that the Code Black one has been for the game itself, so I kind of just kept things in there. But might do some other game channels, like have a channel specifically for Forza or something, or other games that people are interested in the Discord, because I know it's kind of a hassle sometimes to have a bunch of Discord servers, and people tend to they'll clear them out every once in a while. Um, so to prevent that, we've probably make some other channels that people can hang out with uh, whoever they want in and play whatever games. So yeah, the Discord will eventually grow for the game, as I only did make the Discord server like a couple weeks ago, so it's growing a bit so far, which is good. All right, this cable looks pretty good. But yeah, when back to the education stuff, I do want to I have another YouTube channel I was talking about. There's nothing on it yet, and I probably won't post anything up on there until or for a couple months. But if you guys do are interested, called the Unreal Online University, and I've created a Discord for it and stuff as well. This is all created by me, so yeah, it's not a fake channel or anything. I will be make I did kind of put in here too. I will be posting stuff in the next couple months once Code Black's released. I have a big plan for kind of how I want to go about posting a bunch of tutorials to kind of target more beginner audience members. Maybe people coming from Unity, or people that aren't so technical but maybe like the art stuff in games and are a little scared to get into other things, because that's kind of how I was in a way. I did Because I didn't come from a family of computers. Like, I didn't even get my first computer till I was like 20, and I bought my own, and that was kind of my launch into PC gaming. Like, I was always a gamer, but I was usually a console gamer growing up, and um, yeah, eventually when I got my own PC, I got a bigger interest in this kind of stuff. So um, I would say, like, to anyone out there that might be scared to start making a game, don't be. It's been a 5, 6 year learning process for me, which sounds like a long time, but um, I've always told myself that, there's always something new to learn and don't give up on learning something, and you're never going to know it all. Like, in games, there's so many different skills, talents, professions, and it's almost impossible nowadays to know it all. If you do, props. I wish I could do that, but um, yeah, it's been a 5, 6 year learning process to me to get to the point I'm at today, or the skills that I am at today, where I can do most things in the engine without being, scared to touch something, or without, um, I guess that was kind of a fear when I first started, as I was like, oh, I don't want to touch this thing or try making this thing because I'm not sure how to do it. But like, you kind of have to tell yourself that you won't really know how to do it unless you try. Um, so yeah, my biggest piece of advice is just don't ever give up or be hard on yourself. Just keep keep trying, and if you can't make the thing right now, then put it on the side and do something that you can do to try and work towards something you can. But yeah, I guess there's lots to mention when it comes to how to learn, and what to do research on and stuff. Because if your goal is to make a game, then it's kind of good to have an idea of what you wanna make first. That's why game design documents are important, but only to a point if you're making a game on your own. Um, but planning something and having an idea of what you want to make first is always a good way to avoid that hassle while you're also trying to learn how to make games, if that makes any sense. Which is something I kind of struggled with at first. Like, I had many good ideas, but I didn't know where to start on how to make them. So that's kind of why this game came to be as well, because I've worked on FPS games, and a lot of the developers I know also work on FPS games. So it's, I guess, easier um, to develop in a way, because more people around me do it and have knowledge about it. So if I have troubles, I can always ask for help. Um, but I have many other ideas that I've been working on and trying to make that I just haven't been able to, because there's more I want to do. So that's something that'll probably come here down the road. But yeah, this project, it wasn't my all-time favorite idea, of course, because it's not fully original. It's a zombie game. There's many zombie games. But this game was my take on zombie games, and I've been playing, COD Zombies, of course. I think everyone's kind of played that game at this point in their lives. Uh, and growing up, it was a completely different experience, and that's kind of just something I wanted to try and create for others. So that's my whole reason to develop this game, and it was also a great portfolio piece to showcase my skills as a developer. I'm kind of multi-skilled. I'm usually not, like, I'm better than I lead myself on to be, I think. Um, some people have told me that, like, I'm good at a lot of things, but I don't lead myself on to be. I try to be subtle with myself, and I I think one reason is I've always told myself that I never know more than 5% of what I think I know. Um, and that's usually the case with a lot of things. That's kept me to always keep learning, and I think that's important in games. So it's a good mindset to have. Just I always just tell myself, like, even if I think I know all everything about this thing, I probably only still know 5% of it if someone else made it. Um, if they're things I made myself, of course, I kind of have a better understanding of it. But um, yeah, that's, I guess, the mindset I kind of have going into this kind of stuff is if you tell yourself you don't really know that much, then you're always willing to learn um, something new, which is a fun part about this stuff, game development. It's yeah, very enjoyable. So I hope the people out there that aren't game developers and watching this might go follow that channel and have an interest in maybe following my course. And the course also will target a little more intermediate developers as well. So if you are an existing developer and have a bit of knowledge on Unreal and even programming and stuff like that, because I will be probably doing quite a bit of programming at some point, um, then yeah, by all means, join the community. If you weren't here when I showed it last, it's called the Unreal Online University, which is the new channel I'm going to be creating. Um, and this has nothing to do with Code Black, by the way. That's just a separate channel I'm going to be creating tutorials on later. I don't really want to use this Savio channel anymore for really game dev tutorials. Of course, I'll still use it for devlogs and for my game development. But that's about it. I kind of want to keep it to that. So that was the reason for my new channel. And um, yeah, if you keep your eyes out, there'll be new stuff on there. Actually, these cables, they are coming along. I just want one to go kind of all around. Yeah, power's pretty interesting in the game too, just because of how it kind of communicates to other things in the game. Um, everything you can interact with in the game has the ability to require power in some way or another, and um, all my power systems are um, driven by tags and IDs, so I can get pretty specific with which things in the world require power and where from, and even beyond that, they can have like costs to them after they're powered and stuff like that's how a lot of the upgrade machines and ability machines and stuff work is you'll have to not only find power for them, turn on the power for them, but also you will have to purchase them. Of course, that kind of makes sense. It's something that a lot of games have. I need to build some other stuff here too. So yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the power, and there's lots of interesting things I can do with it. So it'd be cool to see how people use it. If anyone's in the chat, has anyone seen the new War Machine movie on Netflix? I think it is with I I I call him Thad because that's essentially who he is. I forget the actor's actual name, but he's a funny dude and good actor too. But it was if you guys haven't seen it yet, it's War Machine on Netflix. It was really good actually. I highly enjoyed it. Yeah, these ones hang down a little more, so they're maybe a little more visible, I guess. Probably add one here too. That didn't really fix it, did it? It just made it ugly from a different angle. I love that. Mm, Oh, I guess I can. There we go. That somewhat fixed it. Wait, fix that after. Um, can you grab that fucking point? Like, holy shit. Sometimes I question the things I spend time on. Like you'd never imagine how much time artists would spend on stupid shit like this. The main reason I am is because these wires will actually provide a function in finding power. So it is kind of important. But how they look really doesn't really matter. I'm just picky. So that we have a very uneven wire. Uh, oh, this does look good enough though. Okay, I'm happy with that part. Good enough. Let's move this over here. Good enough. And it does reach a point where you're just like, oh, good enough. Kind of have to. Gotta move on. Yeah, this is something I really wanted to get done for early access. Not only does it add a lot of life to the world, I think, but it also serves serves a functionality and serves a purpose, and it does look kind of cool. I also want to make sure that these were here first before like trees and stuff. At least in these areas, mainly because I didn't really want to place trees too in the way, if that makes sense. Which they still kind of will be covering, but I'll try to make them where like it looks like they put the power lines there after the trees. Which is kind of hard to do if I put the trees there first. I don't really want to remove trees. Work forwards, not backwards. Or fuck. Uh, in this case, I'm working backwards to work forward. Whatever. I'm not even gonna try with that anymore. I wish this wasn't so ugly. Can I fix that? Sure, that kind of fixed it. I can live with that. Live with that. Looks pretty cool. Surprised no one's anything in the chat. It's disappointing. This is some cool stuff I'm making. I think I'm just gonna have the one wire here and then have it. Maybe I'll just use these bottom things to like branch out to different power things. I might not even have to do that, honestly, if these just lead. I don't know, maybe that's a good question to ask the community. Because it does kind of create more or less difficulty. Um, I mean, out in the world, they are gonna see these wires, where they might not see they might not see them if they're not going right to the machines. For example, this is one of the machines. You might wonder why it's a hologram. I randomly choose a bunch of spawn locations. The interesting thing about my game is I didn't really want to take any easy routes. Because I come from a designer background, a lot of what I wanted to showcase was my skills for designing things, especially levels and um, things that have been missing in games, I think, for a long time, and one of them is just thoughtful level design. I think, there has been lots of games that have come out recently with really good level design. I can't say all of them, but um, I really kind of hate how everyone's mostly going the procedural method, which, like, don't get me wrong, procedural generation is great for a lot of things, especially like environment stuff, um, and static things in the world, I think. But I think, like, the past 10 years, a lot of things in games, they've tried to take the fully procedural route where everything is random. Um, and some games have done it well. Some games have fully tanked because they've completely focused on that side too much of things, and they've lost their touch when it comes to the unique feeling, of a thoughtfully designed experience. And I'm trying to create something like that the best I can on my own. And yeah, so these spawners are, uh they are kind of procedural in a way. Um but I choose exactly where those random locations are. So if I, for example, with the sidearm soda, um there's probably like, you know 50 different spawn locations for it in the world. And um but there'll only be like 5 of them that actually spawn in the world. So let's say there's 50, 10 for each of them. um it'll just pick it'll spawn one, and it'll say, okay, out of these 10 spots, which pick a random one to spawn at this game. So you'll always still get, a fresh feeling, a fresh run, and a little bit of a fresh experience each time. You'll also kind of get a bit of a procedural feeling. But the difference with mine is it's not fully procedural. It's not gonna just, spawn something randomly on a rock somewhere in a hard location to interact with or something like that. Everything that can be interacted with, or and is spawned procedurally. I'm putting this in quotes because it's not fully procedural, but it does work in that kind of way. And I think people will really appreciate that because I have put the time into thoughtfully placing things, and I can always change it too, which kind of course, creates a little bit of a dynamic with updates and patches where, when I go to balance things, um, I will for sure try and move things around and change them a bit and create a fresh experience. I know what I was doing. Now I need still getting blinded by the sun. It fucking sucks, dude. Let's use this. I don't really want to. I don't want to come right up. Sure. No one's ever gonna walk there anyways, so it doesn't matter. That worked great. Okay, let's change this one slightly. A little unique. That doesn't really work all that well, does it? Um, I don't know. Hmm. Okay. I can live with that, but you know what? Screw it. I'm just gonna have it go right through the trees all the way over here. Even actually, I wonder if I can just put this without it. Hmm, that actually looks pretty good. And it somewhat lines up. This is hard when I'm being blinded by the light, like literally. Make it slightly smaller. Kind of okay with that. It's not touching the tree. Okay, I'm kind of happy with that. I can make that work. Okay, I can live with that for sure. That looks pretty cool. Hidden in the trees there. It's a pretty big spline. I almost want to. This one can be long. This go right through here, and that'll look really nice. Okay. That's pretty good right off the hop. Except for this little, I guess, straighten out through this. Oh, okay, okay. I can live with this for sure. Except that's a bit weird. Cool. Maybe I could. I can live with that. I like that a little better than it was before. Now for going through here. That's not too bad, if I say so myself. Kind of just sits on that branch. No one has to know. Cool. And the perfect. And it travels, yeah. The kind of idea was that it would travel from the power source. So it'd be like, oh, power is going to this location. Oh, I think it works. I need coffee. I am still here. I'm just gonna make some coffee and kind of just be hanging out for a second. So, perfect time to ask questions if anyone is hanging out. Should maybe change the. Maybe change the live stream name. Cool. This is I just wanted to check to see what was going on there, and I wanted to change the name. Unless there's recommendations. If you have recommendations for a better one, let me know. But yeah, I'm just gonna make coffee here. So, if you have any questions, let me know. Whether it's about Unreal Engine in general or about the game, feel free. I'm happy to answer any questions. But I do need coffee to keep me going. Might stream for a little bit longer. I haven't decided how long I'm gonna stream for yet. Kind of just depends when I get hungry. What's driving the stream is my hunger. If I get hungry, I'll probably stop streaming and go have some food. And I'd like to do, I would like to do a stream every week from here on out, and probably a little more after the game's release because I'll be actually having a little more time to play the game, and I'll want to play the game with you guys as well to see, what you like about the game and what you want changed or added or removed or whatever. So um, everything I'm just hoping to release the game with a solid, core loop and all the features I kind of had planned um, as a solid framework and make it as bug free as I possibly can. And from there, if I have that, then I don't have to worry about fixing bugs after I release the game. It's just kind of the goal. At least get it down to as small of a number as I can. That way I can add new cool things, work on new maps, and create create more for you guys. So that's the that's the ultimate goal. And eventually, by the way, I will stream with a camera on. Um, I probably won't be for the first few weeks just because I don't really have a good camera right now, and uh, I'd rather just show while I'm kind of doing devlogs. I kind of just want them to be faceless with just more information on the screen, so you guys can see everything I'm doing. And yeah, ask any questions about anything you might see on the screen. And yeah, when I do some broadcasts, playing the game and stuff like that, I will get a camera and whatnot. So worried about that. We have coffee now, so I am back. Still blinded by the sun, which is super great. That's one downside about streaming in the middle of the day, I guess. We do have a window right in front of me, and the sun tends to get in my eyes. All right, wires are also going to be going this way. So I kind of want it to meet up somewhere. Maybe the motel. Yeah, I can meet at the motel that comes around here. Because I also need it to branch off and go into the woods. I guess this could go on the inside or outside. Probably the inside because there's more room. Could also have it go in front or travel along the barriers. Could travel along the barriers or be. Ah, no, we'll put some of these. These are visible. That's why I do like these things. Okay, that looks pretty good. I think the next. Shit. Okay, that's good. I'm happy with that. This one. Actually, that's perfect. We'll go there. I think this one will probably just have go straight up to the top of the house. Maybe I'll have those. I'll have one of these on the roof. Finally do something with those freaking street lights. Hell yeah. There's some areas of this world where I created early on, and I just been stuck on what to do with them. Like the outer areas are kind of just going to be forest areas, kind of dark and gloomy and a little bit scary at times, maybe. Um, Another thing about the weapons in the game, I'm sure if you've been following or have seen the Steam page, you might know that every weapon essentially will be akimbo if it's not already. There's a couple weapons I haven't fully completed the akimbo animations and stuff for, which is like the snipers um, and the rocket launcher. I do want to have akimbo rocket launchers and stuff like that too. It's really just gonna be fun and hilarious. Um, that along with um, what's the other thing you can weapons that I forgot to mention? Shit, I've drawn a blank now. Um, Shit, it'll come to me. Akimbo weapons. Uh, Shit, totally forgot what I was thinking of there. Um, that empty spaces in the world. Yeah, I forgot. It'll come to me. See something in the world. Remind me about it. This can go to the outside. We're gonna put these right where the lights are, and that way we can just move the lights. Should be good. Yeah, very snappy. Okay, that should be good. The other power spot probably gonna be over here somewhere. I haven't fully decided where I'm gonna put it here. I might go like right here, or I might. Well, I don't really have a space to move the tent. It's already a little big. I might have to mod it to make some changes to the model. But overall, it's pretty good. Just that one part over there. Maybe I'll just stick a rock big enough that it reaches that part of the model. Um, yeah, no, this is looking good now. This part's empty still, but that can be fixed. Get our wires going pretty much all the way around now. I might actually change this. I don't really like this one here. I would rather it be. Yeah, I'd rather it be like that. Less connections, and still will look good here and then up to here and through these things down to here, across, across, and then it will get to the motel. And the motel, I think, will have its own power. Be back in here somewhere, is my guess. I haven't fully decided where I want to put that, but it'll be a lot like this one. I did want to at first kind of build one big power place because recently I've just been using. I have the power systems built, but you weren't here at the start of the stream. I've been using these little generators, which I can just interact with those, and that's kind of been my source of power. Where um, they do need to be a lot larger for cases like this. This building here under construction, it's um it's under construction because I didn't know what to put here, and that's a lot of what this level has turned out to be is random things here, but everything is thoughtfully designed layout wise. So I knew I wanted objects here, and I knew I wanted the layout to flow in a certain kind of way. Um, but when it came to the art, there was times where I'd run into issues where I was spending too much time thinking about what to actually put here rather than just putting something here. That's another reason why blockouts are super important. And I didn't do a full blockout of this level. I did like the buildings, and kind of the landscape and the basic layout, is essentially all I planned for the blockout. Um, when it came to things like the barriers and stuff like that I have lying around the level, um, it's kind of unplanned and it wasn't really part of the blockout at all. I just knew in all the empty spaces that I really wanted um, something interesting, and I'm a picky person, so something that also looks good. But yeah, these construction areas will be changed later. Once I either have an artist to help out and help create some of these areas that I haven't been able to, or I think of something and get around to changing it. It'll kind of remain under construction. Um, One of the examples, if anyone saw my Twitter post, is the bank. And the bank here is central in the town, and it eventually will be a full interior, not just like these little rooms. The idea with this is that it's going to kind of function the same way that the buried bank, that the bank in the buried map from Black Ops 2 worked, which, if you don't know, um, the bank in buried allowed you to take your in-game currency and deposit it into a into like a, it was like a safety deposit box in the bank, and then at any game, or at any time later on in that game or a different game, um you could go back to the bank and withdraw that cash. It didn't really tell you how much you had in it, or didn't really give you much information at all. It just said deposit and withdraw, which I liked. um because it was like, oh, you kind of had to remember how much cash you put in the bank. But you could, I'm pretty sure, put as much cash as you wanted, which is how mine is going to work too. You'll be able to put as much cash as you want in the bank, and you'll be able to take it out at any time. But there won't be any like information about how much you have in there, or anything like that. It'll just be a deposit withdraw kind of situation, but it will save to game data, and it will be available in other round or other matches. So if you die and come back in and you get to this location and you want to withdraw some cash to buy a weapon or to do this Easter egg or whatever, then you can come back at any time and grab some cash, which will be a it'll be a feature in every level after it's implemented. The reason I haven't implemented it yet is just because of save data things. I'm still working on some save data systems for other stats that are going to be part of leaderboards. So I want to make sure those are working first before any other save data goes through. I also don't really have any bank art right now except for the building itself, which really right now isn't really it doesn't really look like a bank at all. But that'll change, and um, yeah, once I have some assets, I will start to do that, and then I'll implement the bank as well, which won't be a hard feature to implement. It won't take me long with the things I have already. So um, yeah, it'll just be about building the bank mostly and spending the time to actually uh, put my time strictly towards building the bank, which right now I'm just doing so many other different things that uh, I don't want to spend time on this. I think it will. I would end up, spending a week doing just the bank. So, um, yeah, some other things that are going to change here in the next couple days are the streets. I'm going to be. I've started adding some more things like these crates and stuff, which are kind of just basic first layer, first pass of adding some props in the world. Um, I'll probably be adding a lot more like debris and make it look more a little more broken and run down and old and apocalyptic and um, less kind of new, because right now it does look very new because it's empty. And I think that's how a lot of games start out. So not really, I don't really think I'm behind or anything. And even if the level is looking like this, I would still be happy if everything worked. Um, so yeah, right now I'm at a point where I think most things working pretty good, and I'll be doing some play tests in the next couple weeks. That's another thing too. People might miss this. I'll mention it at the end of the stream as well before I log off, just in case. But please join the Discord if you would like to be a part of the community, because in the next couple of weeks I will be doing some giveaways for some keys. These keys won't be forever keys, by the way. These are only early access keys, and uh, most of you kind of know how early access runs nowadays, so that really won't be any different than any other game. You will have to buy the game when it is released, but the early access keys will give you a chance to kind of play the game and test it out. And if you're part of the Discord, which currently only has how many members? 44. 44 members, so not that many yet. And it's still growing, of course, and it always will be. So come be a part of the community, and it's called Code Black. It's a nice little server. I just got a server tag as well, so you can adopt that, and then people can actually click on the server tags if you didn't know, and um, they can they can join the Discord if they want, because it is a public community Discord. So um, yeah, if you're willing to support, throw that tag on, helps me out. Um, and yeah, since we're only at 44, the first 100 members are going to be part of the founders role. So I'll assign you guys a new role. Um, and those founding members of the Discord will get access to some more exclusive stuff. Not only will you get first kind of chance on keys and other giveaways and stuff like that, I'll make sure you guys kind of get priority over things. Um, and you'll also be part of the first couple play tests, which is kind of cool. And the founders won't ever really change unless someone's banned or kicked for some reason. So if you want to be a part of that, um, the community is growing and it will continue to grow. And um, I would, yeah, just hope that anyone that wants to be a part of this would join, so that we can get to that 100 members and start doing some cool stuff. Um, that'll kind of be how I run the playtest too, to get some feedback from you guys. You guys will be able to talk to me directly. We'll have our own little uh, chat in the Discord, and if you guys have feedback and whatnot, the founders will definitely get a little more um, direct access to talking to me, especially after things get busier. Since I haven't even done my first visibility round on Steam yet, things are still kind of slow. But that is bound to change once I start the first visibility round. So yeah, please stay tuned. There'll be lots of cool things coming for the game, and not only the game, but the future of the studio that I want to create. Of course, with every game nowadays comes a studio, and right now it's just me. But of course, I want to change that, because I have big ambitions, big ideas, and um, more things that I want to do. All right, I might need to do this a little bit differently. Hell yeah. I can live with that. Although this one, change that. I'll have this drag down a little more. That's cool. That's cool. I can dig that. This one has to go all the way over here. All the way over there. Have one in the middle. You can hang low and slow. Not slow, quick. L- Low and quick. Low rider. Low and quick. That's a low rider. Bro, Burnt Peanut, fucking hilarious. I fucking love that guy. I hope Burnt Peanut plays my game like that. If Burnt Peanut plays my game, that's all I want in life. And it's not even for the reach. It's literally just I want to just see him react to anything, even if it's shit. Like even if he's like, "Oh, this game's fucking dog shit," I I could care less. It's hilarious. He's so fucking funny. He could turn anything into comedy. It's amazing. I'm super happy for that guy's success as well. I was watching him a little bit before he started getting super successful. I think he was at like 500,000 subscribers, and yeah, of course, when Arc Raiders came out, he really took off. But yeah, I will eventually try and get some streamers as well to play my game, which they won't be part of the founders unless, of course, they're a streamer that was part of the first 100 people. But they will be a big part of the community. I want to definitely get streamers involved because there will be eventually co-op is the goal. So I really want to build a solid game first. Since I'm on my own, obviously co-op and those type of bigger features can definitely take a lot of time and wouldn't have given me the opportunity to create such a big level, and such diverse character mechanics, and as many of the devices and stuff that I have, and tools, and created workflows and documentation and stories and concept art and branding images and all these things that I've been doing, social media and marketing as well. Trying to do live streams here now so I can talk to some people in the community and answer any questions you guys might have, and also some feedback too. You know, I've had ideas for years on what I've wanted out of a zombies game, and everyone online, I see them saying, I wish they would do better things. Okay, what would you like? Tell us what you want. Um, it's obviously hard for AAA companies to do that, but for someone like me, you know, you have the opportunity to talk to me directly, and the community is still a small knit community, and I'm passionate about the idea and I'm passionate about the game, and it's something I want to continue to work on. So it's a perfect opportunity for you guys to kind of maybe get something in there that you wanted to see in a game in a long time, like this. Obviously, if it's like, oh, I want Peter from Family Guy as an enemy, I think that's a little bit off theme. But I'm open to ideas and I'm open to adding new things, especially now. Later on, I might be you know, less willing to take on new ideas, and add new things if the game grows to a point where it's hard to add new features. Eventually, things do get to a point where it's like, okay, when are we going to stop adding features? Because there's so many now that it almost feels cluttered, which I don't want. I think games are most fun when they have simple mechanics that are hard to master, and that's something we've learned in the industry for, since I started in it, and something I'll never forget, which is trying to make very simple ideas into very complex mechanics that are enjoyable over and over and over again. And a great example of that is like Flappy Bird. You just tap a screen. It's an enjoyable mechanic. So that's what I want to try and create here. And that's why I like to spend time on thoughtfully designing things, and why certain features might take longer, and why co-op isn't coming on the initial release but will be a thing later on, is all because of those reasons. So it is something I want. Some other things I want that I don't want to talk too much on because I haven't done a whole lot of research on it, but I do want to add mod support to the game. Um, and mod support, it would be great to have that come before co-op, because of course if I have a modding community and I'm starting to do things like that and allow people to mod their own things, then co-op might become a thing that just gets developed as a mod, which I'm totally fine with. And the if there's modders that get it done before me, then by all means go for it. Even if modders add it, it's something I might add as a default part or feature of Code Blacks. But the the modding the modding community would be a great thing, I think, to introduce. And it was a big part of Black Ops 3. So allowing people to kind of create their own things would be awesome. And I'm even willing to provide source code, um, to certain people that request it. And if modders, want access to certain things, I'm willing to help out. And try and make that happen. And I want to work with the modding community. I want this game to be a collaborative project of fans that were sick of AAA companies that decided to turn all their games, especially zombie, very kind of single player or local cooperative games, and they're trying to drive marketing and uh, monetization through in-app purchases, which I don't agree with. Um, I think when it comes to zombie games and these kind of games, everything should be unlockable in the game. And the only thing you guys should be purchasing after the game is additional maps and additional content that actually provides value to you. You and not only value, but something to do with your time. Everything nowadays, I think, they're wasting artists' time on creating all these skins and different versions of things when artists could be spending time thoughtfully designing an environment and a level and putting their time into something that's actually going to pose useful for you and you know give you back the value that you deserve, which is playing a game and having fun, not wasting your money on something that looks good but provides no functionality or purpose. So that's my take on why I'm creating this game and why I think it's important um, to spend time on these things, and why I have, and why I want the community to be a big part of the development and the future of this game, and why I want to do modding before co-op, um, and all those things. So yeah, so far I've kind of just been hanging around this upper area, and I'm placing all these wires, which I'll be placing. I kind of finished this one here, which is um, my. It's one of the biggest ones, the main kind of power line, and then I'm just going to use all these other things to kind of branch off and show where, like maybe there'll be a machine on this corner or whatever, and I'll have a wire that'll kind of just go to here and go down there. That way, if you go to like interact with a machine and it tells you that it needs power, um, then you'll be able to kind of follow the wires, and the lights on them. The lights will change as well, so lines that do have power will light up bright red. I can actually show you. So it'll light up like this when it actually has power, which will be really nice for knowing which lines aren't powered yet. So yeah, that's super cool. Uh, the other areas, I will give you a little sneak peek. So um, this town sits on top of uh, giant ruins, which is essentially how the world started. If I gonna turn off a couple things here. There we go. So the whole level essentially sits on top of these ruins. Um, and the ruins also sit heavily on top of things. So there's multiple layers to the ruins. Unload some things here. So yeah, this is kind of what it looks like behind the scenes, underneath everything. There's a big open cutout in the world, and there's also the maze, which I will show in another stream because that's a whole thing on its own. There's a cornfield. There's like forests going all around. I haven't finished painting everything either yet, so some of the ground will change. You can see the maze. I kind of painted a lot of that, and some of the trails leading through the forest, but not all of them. I'll probably have trails going all through here and stuff like that, and rocks and um, more of a forest debris. But yeah, this is kind of how the level looks underneath. And then, if I load in these two areas, I do want to turn off. Yeah, so underneath the roads and stuff, it's all a big part of the ruins. And I can come in here and kind of show you. So you might have seen this part in the trailer. Um, this is one of the main areas uh, of the ruins, or one of the biggest kind of rooms. And I'll slowly be adding more clutter and debris and stuff in the floor here, or on around the floor and on the walls and stuff, because it is empty. I can admit that. But of course, as one person creating such a big level, I can only spend so much time in each area. Because I would like to spend time on making the game awesome and function well. So um, yeah, the lighting's been coming out great. This room is very commonly seen on the Steam page and on some of the other posts I've made. So yeah, this room is actually the first room you will fight enemies in. So excited to see what happens there. This is the spawn room, so just a smaller room where you'll start kind of tied to a chair, I guess. You'll break free from the chair, and then you'll get to um, come out in here and start fighting zombies. So I'll be doing a gameplay trailer actually in the next couple weeks. I don't want to say next week because I am pretty busy in the next few days, but um, in the next couple weeks, I will put together a gameplay video, which will also be around the same time that the playtests will be happening. So I'll put together a gameplay trailer, try and gather some more people to the Discord with that, and then have ourselves a playtest. Um, so yeah, this is the ruins. There's lots of different rooms, still things that I haven't completed fully. Um, and like this room, for example, it's black. There's no lighting, but it is somewhat finished, and at least for the layout, or the basic kind of size of the interior. But I do plan on having some special stuff in this room, as well as maybe like an Easter egg of some sort. So there'll be some interesting things to find. There's also, yeah, cool corridors and interesting layout for how things are designed to be able to not only horde zombies but train them. Training was a big part of zombies forever, and I think that's a big part of this game, is having nice open areas where you can train zombies around and whatnot. So yeah, this is the level. This is the museum that we're in, and the museum is the kind of exit from the ruins and entrance into the city, or the town, or whatever you want to call it. And I want to make sure that kind of your introduction to the city is pretty cool. Um, so I wanted a nice central location. And I also needed a big area to kind of explain why they might be in the ruins, or how they might get out of the ruins. Which the museum was kind of the interesting place for that, because of course, with the museum, they're putting artifacts in there. Um, and the idea was that they dug a hole through the ground and found these ruins, and now they're renovating the museum and taking things out of the ruins and putting them in the museum or whatever. That's the idea. What else? I think I might end it here. Uh, I'm not really sure. I have to continue placing wires, but that's essentially all I'm going to be doing. Um, and yeah, like I said, join the Discord. There's a link in the video description, and there's also a link in my bio and on the Steam page, and you will be able to find the Discord one way or another. Um, if not, there is also a custom link, so you can actually join. You don't need a weird Discord code like this. If you just type discord.gg/code black, that's also the Discord link. So there's a custom URL for the Discord link. So um, yeah, discord.gg/code black. Sorry, code dash black. Sure, the dash is in there, and that's it. Yeah. Um, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments, or yeah, join the Discord, which is a lot easier way of getting a hold of me, and a lot quicker. So I will be active in there more often, or I might not always be on YouTube. So yeah, I'm excited to have anyone interested part of the community and um, give some feedback and let me know what you'd like to see in a zombie game, and hopefully it can make it in if it's something within reason. And if not, we'll chat about it and see, if we can figure something out. And um, yeah, main thing is I'm a part of that Discord because there'll be lots of news happening there, and that's where you'll find most of the things out. And that's where you'll also get special access to things like the giveaways and whatnot. And there is only 44 members in there right now, or 45. So join and be part of that first 100 people. And if you are, then you'll be a founder, and you'll definitely get a key to play test before early access is released, and you'll also get a chance to be a part of other things that happen within the Discord community. Um, the more it grows, the more things will happen. Of course, that's kind of how it has to be. 'Cause I can't really afford to be giving away things for free all the time if I'm not supporting myself first. So, um, yeah, I mainly just want to stress that I'm excited for this just as much as some other people might be. And if not, I hope you are now. Um, and I hope to see you in the community so that we can share things and play the game and continue to make cool things and develop awesome games and hopefully grow so we can do this more and bigger and better and continue doing it. So yeah, I will end it here though, because I don't want to continue just ranting. So yeah, if you have any other questions, like I said, just join that Discord and shoot me a message in the general chat, or ping me in the general chat, and I'll answer as soon as I can. Have a good day, guys, and happy gaming. Wishlist the game on Steam as well, where I forget to say that.
Yeoling is still there, although Yeoling is not a mainstream ninja. His kung fu is very deep and ridiculous. You be ready for some tricks. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. You be ready for some tricks. The world is low, but Buddhism is high. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. But I don't know how to repay you for your kindness.